Chapter 9. Loyalty Betrayed. I gotta get comfortable really quick. Rainbow Dash was laying on a small patch of clouds in the middle of seemingly nowhere as she drifted off to sleep. Soon after, a prevalent growl of her empty stomach woke her. It was late fall once again, and there were no more apples to be had. Rainbow was getting used to surviving on her own, but hated the thought of enduring another harsh winter alone. She peeked over her cloud, hoping to see something to inspire a warm fantasy. Maybe a family clearing leaves off their lawn, or a happy couple walking close to each other to keep warm. To her disappointment, she was drifting just above the flats, the complete opposite of inspiration. That's where the scum of Equestria collected. Ponies cast out of normal society due to their affinity for crime and violence. This is where they found a home. Ponies that weren't welcome in the lives of others are the only residents. Rainbow Dash continued thinking about it, and soon decided maybe it's not such a bad place after all. She may find herself a place to stay throughout the winter. The sun was setting and the temperature was rapidly dropping. Deciding it was worth looking into, she flies down toward the jumbled mess of lights. Upon reaching the city, she surveys her surroundings from the air. Some shoddy apartments, a couple liquor stores. Suddenly, a few ponies zip past underneath her. They're flying lightning fast, creating a draft. This instinctively exhilarates Rainbow, prompting her to join the group. She spirals down, speeding in front of the line. You guys want to have a race? Rainbow's dry voice was barely audible. Who the hey are you? Dark Stallion was amazed to see a mare came out of nowhere and so easily got in front of him. Rainbow Dash spotted an obvious checkpoint ahead. It indicated a left turn. Rainbow took the turn like a pro, flattening her wings out and turning on her side. This only slowed her down long enough to clear the building on the corner safely, missing it by only a few feet. She then leveled herself out with a smooth, spiraling motion, pulling dead leaves off the street into a rake, all blending together in a magnificent spiraled rainbow. She soon spotted the finishing line ahead. A familiar sensation washed over her. She closed her eyes for a moment and felt all the trouble disappears as she approached the finish line, knowing she had won. When she had crossed it, she did a quick celebratory spin in the air and followed by a hoof pump. She landed in the crowd awaiting congratulations. Instead, they were greeting a wave of harsh questions. Who the hey is this crappy crap Smokey? Who the hey is this crap Smokey? Okay. A small stallion questioned Rainbow's sudden appearance, gesturing in her direction. How the hey should I know? You dirt bucking sack of seed, Smoke replied. He was a huge unicorn, the largest Rainbow had ever seen, even compared to Big Mac. He had a short gray mane that was nearly combed to one side. His coat was flat back. His cutie mark was a lit cigar. Well, kid, you best get the hay out of here before you get hurt. The huge stallion stared at her down. She spoke with a heavy Manhattan accent. But I won, Rainbow replied, confused by their anger. I can't do a Manhattan accent. You fly in here, put my best flyer to shame, and trot around like you're owning the place. His horn began to glow as he walked towards her. Just then a small stallion thought he saw an opportunity he'd been waiting for. He pulled a knife from under his leather coat and quickly trotted up behind the black stallion. The shiny steel caught Rainbow's attention as soon as she realized the shady earth pony's intent. She acted. Look out! Rainbow yelled as she darted forward the ill-intended pony. She slid around and kicked the knife out of the grasp of the would-be assailant with her strong back hooves. The knife twirled through the air, resonating a distinctive ringing noise before bouncing across the road. Holy buck! The dark blue Pegasus, who recently lost a rainbow, broke the silence. His long flowing mane was dangling in his face, deep red fading to light gray at the ends. Smokey, the massive stallion, immediately turned to his menacing gaze on his attacker. I thought you weren't with them no more. His horn was now becoming engulfed with his infamous black flames. I swear I'm not. I swear. Well, Smokey's horn shot a small orb straight through the skull of the brown stallion. It let out a loud echoing bang. I have to go eat, so I'll be right back. And I'm back after one day. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna read this paragraph again. Goodness. Smokey's horn shot a small orb straight through the skull of the small brown stallion. It let out a loud echoing bang. Rainbow looked on in horror, now realizing the danger she had wandered into. Smokey walked up to the small blue Pegasus, who was now terrified but retaining her heroic stance as the pony who saved his life. Thanks for that, kid. Smokey patted her on the head. I've been thinking, street racing is my business, and you're the fastest flyer I've seen. I saw you take that turn back there. You're no street punk. You've been trained. So to me, you're good for business. Now, that's been said, plus now I owe you one, so you're in. Rainbow was confused, but figured out that what was going on. So you want me to race for you? That's right, kid. You're heading the line. The deep blue Pegasus spoke up. Whoa, what? She's in just like that? It took me years to get in. He had a very unruly, high-pitched voice. Oh. Maybe. That's 'cause you ain't never saved my life. Now pipe down before you get me angry. The blue pony sat down and forced himself to stay quiet. Smokey lit a cigar and blew a puff of smoke in Rainbow Dash's face, causing her to cough a bit. So what's your name, kid? Smokey spoke in a much softer yet deeper voice. Call me RD. RT. Rainbow Dash wasn't exactly comfortable giving her name to these types of ponies. Artie, huh? That's an unusual name, especially from a mare, but in your case it's suiting. With me in my case, your colt's name suits a mare of your, how should I put it, obvious disposition. Rainbow tilted her head in confusion. Smokey let out a sigh. You know, since we're on the same side of the fence. What? You know, since you and I are playing on the same team. Rainbow Dash gave up on trying to understand the bulky black stallion was implying. So am I going to race now or what? Sure, kid. Tomorrow's a big day. Tonight, take it easy. Come back to the club and relax. Smokey patted her messy mane again and led her down the street. So that's... I know what he's implying, but is he implying that he's gay too, or... Listen up, you bums. We got a new filly on board. Name's Artie. Artie. Make sure you treat her nice, like. She saved my life, and she's my new star racer. Smokey smiled at Rainbow, a rare gesture on his part, and walked off. Feel free to make this place your new home if you want to. Welcome to the Storm Colts, kid. With the words echoed in Rainbow's mind. A home is something she desperately longed for. Jealousy boiled in the navy blue Pegasus, who wanted to lash out and attack Rainbow, but stopped himself from doing so out of both respect and fear from his leader. Listen here, Artie. I don't like you, and I don't trust you either. But there's nothing I can do as long as Smokey's got your back. Since you helped him out, you're on my good side right now. The name's Jet, by the way. Before Rainbow could reply, he trotted off. Rainbow Dash decided she'd allow herself to get to know these ponies. She looked around the room, then spotted a small beige unicorn. He was non-threatening enough to Rainbow to feel comfortable introducing herself. Hi, I'm Rainbow Artie. My name's Artie. Rainbow Dash was feeling awkward and embarrassed at her near slip-up. The small beige unicorn tilted his hat to meet her gaze. He then spoke in a very strong Scottish accent. I can't do that. Well, golly gee whiz, aren't you just a bucket of sunshine? What a douche. Feeling even more awkward, Rainbow began to trot away. Wait, hold on a minute, dearie. I was only joking. My name's Bagpipes. But you can call me Doc. Yeah, I'm the club doctor. Is your name really Bagpipes? Well, no, it isn't, but your name really isn't Artie. The clever unicorn shot Rainbow a sly glance. Rainbow casually sat down. Yeah, of course it is. So, don't you want to tell me about this place? Well, sure thing, dear. Let's see. Where to start? Where to start? Oh, yes. First things first. You're a new racer, right? Yes, then let's look around. Most of your teammates are here now. He wanted to point them out. Star Chaser, Bluebird, and Jet were the three top contenders. Rainbow had replaced Bluebird as number 3. Aw. Doc went to explain the chain of command among the ponies in the club. First and only were the club leader, Smokey. He came from the Manhattan division to head this one after its much less experienced leader was murdered, most likely in an attempt to eliminate the competition between street racing clubs. Currently, the Storm Colts were number 1 club, holding the most points of this season. A close second were the Wingblades, followed by Backdraft. Now that that's cleared up, listen closely, Artie. Don't betray us. You must remain loyal to this club no matter what the cost is. Or leave now. Don't look back. Loyalty's my middle name. Don't worry about it at all. Rainbow spoke up with newfound confidence. Oh, God, another interruption. I think we're going to get along just fine now. Rainbow got pointed toward her room soon after asking around for a while. She found a decently soft bed inside, and when she lay down, she felt more comfortable than she had ever remembered. She was warm inside, protected from the unknown by the 4 walls and a locked window. She was at home for the first time since she left Ponyville. Not much of a home, but a home nonetheless. After the nicest sleep she had had for well over a year, she forced herself out of bed. Excitement was the only thing driving her to get ready for the day ahead. This was the first organized race since long before Pinky's death. This was her chance to prove that she belonged here. She wasn't going to disappoint. Rainbow was nervous all day. She knew she had nothing to worry about, but couldn't shake the feeling after eating, talking to more ponies in the club, and preparing both mentally and physically for the race. Rainbow and her team was off. It was late in the evening. The sun had long since set, leaving a moonlit city in the trail. Rainbow's mind was spinning while she flew information while her team. She felt uneasy looking around all day at the rundown apartment complexes. She saw a homeless pony sleeping under a blanket of daily newspapers. An empty bottle of Colt Daniels lay next to him. Applejack Daniels. At the next street corner, a group of shady-looking ponies stood around a flaming barrel, staring her down as she flew by. They sent a string of obscenities her way. She did her best to ignore them. Her stomach churned with anticipation as they reached their destination. This was a different race from where she had participated in before. This was a straight shot down the city's flood channels. It was stretched on for about 3 or 4 miles, going under dozens of bridges. You know, when they mention something like kind of obscure like that, it means something's gonna happen with the bridges. I mean, common knowledge. Moments later, another team of Pegasi showed up. They each wore blue and gray bandanas, some of their heads, a couple over their mouths. Muzzles much? Rainbow looked around for her team. Each was wearing a black leather jacket with the characters SC separated by a lightning bolt depicted elaborately on their back. She felt awkward being the only underdressed pony allowed, but let the excitement of the opposing race drown out her emotions. Smokey walked up to Rainbow Dash. Listen up, Artie. This is a drag race straight down the strip. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. You got that right. Rainbow's confidence spoke for her. Well, go get him, kid. Earn your keep. Smokey noticed himself developing somewhat of a soft spot for this ambitious little filly who he can tell had lost her way recently. Something about her reminded himself during his younger years. The 8 Pegasi lined up. Rainbow glimpsed around her competition. Nothing she couldn't handle. She stared down the center of the stormway. A small stream trickled down the center. Ready? A small white earth pony began to count down. Rainbow lowered herself, her back legs ready to kick off. Set. Her eyes narrowed, and she eagerly waited for the next word. Go. And with that, Rainbow launched herself forward, securing an early lead. Good luck, kid. Smokey found himself hoping for the best. He then engulfed himself along with another spectators in the Black Fairy aura, teleporting them all about halfway down the strip. There, they looked towards the oncoming racers. Rainbow spotted a neon yellow Pegasus with a black mane approaching quickly behind her. Soon the two were parallel. He looked over at very angrily at Dash. Don't you think a trail of rainbows is kind of gay? uh, oh, that is so messed up. He chuckled at his own insult. You should talk, Sparky. The trail of sparkles is so badly. Rainbow had noticed the sparking trail of static electricity being left behind him. What? That masculinity pulling Luke behind himself to investigate the trail, effectively distracting himself from the race. I'm too sick to be reading these fictions, man. Rainbow saw an opportunity to cut in front of him, causing him to lose his stability. He spread his wings out and caught air, sending him straight up and out of the stormway, simultaneously stabilizing himself. He let out a frustrated growl and dove back into the race, now several places behind. Rainbow smiled down at Smokey as she flew a few feet above their heads, her eyes boastfully confident, since she had a considerable lead. Smokey held onto his hat as her and the rest flew by, then teleported to the finish line. Don't get too cocky, kid. It ain't over yet. Rainbow saw a black and white flash in the distance where Smokey had teleported. This was her goal. She looked back at the yellow and black Pegasus gaining speed. He was in second place again. Rainbow pressed forward. The cliché checkered banner was flapping in the breeze. Sparky was right behind her now. Rainbow put on a cocky grin and pressed forward as fast as she could, leaving him far behind. She spent every last of energy she had saved during the race. The yellow pony behind her slowed down, knowing he was way out of his league. Rainbow slowed down and safely landed, coming to a slow trot as she casually crossed the line. What a badass! Well done, kid. You did good. Smokey gave her mane a few rough pats. Rainbow had come to enjoy this display of affection. Please don't become a club. Please don't become a club. A few seconds later, Sparky and Jen crossed, flying rapidly above their heads, both greatly overshooting the finish line, just securing second place. Apparently, this was good, since Smokey shouted various main hand terms that threw his hoof in the air, securing both and second place. Securing both and second place is key to rising in the seemingly complex ranking system. Smokey began discussing details among the other team leaders. She noticed her picture on a glass tablet as they were rearranging statistics. Then Smokey received a large roll of small papers. They were most likely from the equestrian reserve notes, usually redeemable for around 100 bits each. Rainbow had never seen so much currency hull at once. Holy moly. Alright, kid. Let's get the buck out of here. I got something for you back home. Smokey enthusiastically threw his arms around Rainbow, then teleported back to the club. You got it? Smokey shouted to another pony who was partially asleep. Yeah, I got it, boss. Yeah, I got it, boss. Just finished. He trotted up to Rainbow, hoofing her a nicely folded square of leather. She grabbed the collar with her teeth and stood up on her back hooves, unfolding it in front of herself. The name Artie was neatly embroiled. The name Artie was neatly embroiled in the front pocket. On the back was the signature club logo. She excitedly put it on, her wings fitting nicely through the two subtle cutouts in the back. I can't do it, but this is awesome. Rainbow gave Smokey a quick hug and trotted off to show her new cut off the dock. You really are some else, kid. Smokey spoke to himself as he retreated to his private quarters. Yes, it's all lovely all the same, dearie. But are you sure you're comfy wearing a dead animal's hide on your back? What? I thought making real leather was outlawed. Rainbow Dash began feeling sick to her stomach. Look around, dear. This is an outlaw's safe haven. A whole den of them. Doc continued to stare at her, his thick eyebrows lowering. I'm just pulling you for your chain, dearie. Of course it's fog. Lighten up, Artie. Yeah, psh, I know that. Lighten up. Rainbow trotted off to her room, more than tired. She was ready to collapse after her exciting day. She laid in bed, staring at the ceiling. Thoughts of Pinkie Pie coursed through her mind. Rainbow closed her eyes and pictured her loving, carefree smile, then drifted away in the much-needed sleep. I'm not even halfway through this chapter. Days came and went, race after race. Rainbow continued to win. Smokey continued to grow more fond of the amazing little pony who had showed up in his life seemingly out of nowhere. The two had developed a ritual of complicated hoof shapes and brill hoops to celebrate each time she won another race. Eventually, she was awarded an emblem plate metal seal, which she nailed into her hoof. Hmm. This signified just how important she was to the club. Not even Jet had one yet. Rainbow came to like the name Artie, and accepted every bit of her new life. The Street Racing Society was among the most royal and family-oriented in the flats. It seemed the world outside the club was miserable, poor, and full of hatred for any pony that was even slightly better off than they were. Rainbow woke up today with a familiar pit in her stomach. Today was an important day in her racing career. She was to face a team from Philadelphia. Their point total was higher than the Storm Colts. Like Rainbow Dash, their lead racer was undefeated. Oh my god, she's gonna lose. No. Rainbow threw her cut on and went through her daily routines of chatting and eating. Jack walked up to her with a look of hatred on his face. You shouldn't be here. You don't belong. Just get out of here already. Smokey's been enough rules for you already. Now this? He flew away in a fit of anger. Normally only ponies who had signed onto a team for a minimum of 4 years could attend this event. Jet would be left behind this year despite his skills. However, Smokey decided to make an exception out of Rainbow. Suit up, kid. We're heading out. Smokey climbed into his sleek carriage. Rainbow soon followed. Alright, Artie, listen up. This ain't going to be like the races you've had before. This is the real deal. Unlike the races in the streets before, this is moderated by a lot of serious ponies. The police working under the syndicate closes the course for an hour. There are lots of sharp corners, kid. Be careful. Anyway, they watch all you use to judge your flying skills and what you know and what not you know. So look good and professional out there. Rainbow looked in the window and approached the huge as they approached the huge city. The sun was setting behind it, casting beautiful shadows in the sky. It was dark when they arrived. At the start, she met a couple of other racers, a large dark-colored griffin, and a toned forest green pegasus. Sup? Sup, man? The griffin flicked feathers out of her face. I'm Strix. We'll see you later. She joined her team, leader among the small crowd. Artie, right? I'm hearing a lot about you. You're some sort of underdog of the nowhere flyers that should be here, right? And, well, your luck will help you here. The dark gray pony walked away, smugly flicking Rainbow's nose with his dark brown tail. I hope I never have to read this guy ever again. She brushed it off, not wanting anything else to clown her by today. She flew above the buildings, trying to learn the course, at least a little before the race. Come down here, kid. I need to talk for you a minute. Oh, I messed up the voice. Smokey waved her down. Listen up. See that green pile of hay seeds over there? Don't trust him for a minute. He'll stab you in the back the first chance he gets if he thinks he can take a bit off your dead body. What I really need to say is, good luck. I got your back out here, kid. Smokey gave his signature pat on her head, then pushed her towards the start line. Rainbow found herself in the center line. Hopefully I can finish by 35, because that means that would take way too long to upload. Rainbow found herself in the center of the line next to the forest green pegasus. The griffin and star chaser were on each side. 3, 2... Rainbow readied herself for takeoff. 1! The green pony next to her whispered toward Rainbow. Go? What? It took every ounce of her will not to take off. Go! The countdown was over. The three racers took off. Rainbow didn't react quite as quickly. She finally took off at a huge disadvantage. She didn't let it discourage her, however. She was now on a personal mission to beat the one who had made her look bad. She saw a short stretch. She pushed on, cutting a sharp turn. She passed the griffin, who took the corner much more cautiously. After a few more pressing corners, she spotted Star Chaser. She flew up next to him. He smiled and gave her a reassuring nod. Straight away, she caught a glimpse of her green rival as he rounded the next turn. Although she was losing, excitement filled her heart, and adrenaline filled her veins. She looked up. The moon was casting its glow on her hooves as she coursed through the city. She was now right behind the green Pegasus, but he wasn't giving her much of an opening she needed to pass. Up ahead, she saw a sharp, narrow turn. This may be her chance. Her rival angled himself to smoothly take the turn through the center. Rainbow pushed forward as fast as she could as she approached the corner. She turned completely sideways and arched her back. She bent her wings back, and as she began to turn, everything seemed to be moving in slow motion as she flew in between her rival and the building, missing it by only a few centimeters. As she zipped past him, her back hoof clipped his front one. He lost stability, then slammed to the side of the building, crashed in the garbage can. He rolled across the street, then lay still. Rainbow wanted to turn back, but didn't. Instead, she hurried to the finish line. She should have turned back. After crossing her usual first place, Smokey expected the usual subcultural reactions. Instead, Rainbow immediately turned and headed for the injured pony. Star Chaser and the griffin flew past her. She stopped and trotted up to the green pony. He was covered in scrapes and dirt, but otherwise seemed fine. "What have you done?" he shouted as he stumbled to his hooves. "It was an accident. I'm sorry." Rainbow's apology went unaccepted. She trotted towards him to help him to the finish line. He reached into his hatterjack and pulled a knife out, which he stabbed in the side of Rainbow's neck. What the f... What the f just happened? She looked at him with horror in her eyes. Tears began to well up. She covered her wound with her hoof. Blood was gushing out. The green stallion dropped the knife and flew away, just now realizing what he had done. Rainbow began to choke as blood filled her mouth. Her vision began to blur. She saw Smokey along with a few other ponies quickly trotted towards her, just before blacking out. Dashy. Dashy. Wake up, sleepyhead. I'm up. What's going on? Rainbow stood up and looked around. She was in the town square in Ponyville. Vibrant sunshine blurred Rainbow's vision. The buildings around her looked like they did when Rainbow first came to Ponyville. Beautiful flowers decorated the windows. She felt cold, but was quickly warming up as she felt a soft, warm light wash over her. Finally, I thought you were going to sleep all day, silly. Pinky, am I dead? No, I mean, I don't think so, unless you're a zombie. Pinky shrieked and ran behind a bush, her tail sticking straight up in the air. You're so weird, Pink. Rainbow trotted towards her. Please don't eat my brains. I promise you won't like them. Pinky closed her eyes and cowered. Stop, Pinky. I'm not a zombie. You know it. Now get over here and give me a hug. I missed you. Rainbow shared a long, sweet embrace with her best friend. She pressed her face into Pinky's mane, taking in her soft, sweet scent. Did she love her? I'm thinking that's what it was. Rainbow Dash's emotional walls were now non-existent. Her tears began to flow into her mane. Where did you go, Dashy? I missed you when you left. You promised you'd never leave me alone again, but now I'm alone every single day. Trapped in the dark. Pinky, I'm so sorry. I thought you were dead. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was dead. I'll be going now. Pinky pushed away from Rainbow Dash. Rainbow felt a sharp pain in her neck. She rubbed it with her hoof, only to realize that her hoof was now soaked in blood. She looked up. Pinky was gone. A pile of leaves shaped like her were left in her place. They blew away in the breeze from top to bottom. She looked all around. Town Square was now run down, buildings boarded up. windows broken, and warm sunlight was hidden behind a thick wall of gray clouds. "Pinky, where did you go?" Rainbow cried out. The only reply was her own echo. "Pinky, please, come back!" Rainbow was alone. She looked around again. It was dark. The buildings were all gone. She was completely alone now. She looked up to the sky. There was a small break in the clouds. Light flooded through, blinding her. She shielded them with a hoof. I've been eating too much spaghetti. Rainbow's laying in a ragged old hospital bed. Bandages were tightly wrapped around her neck. IVs were in her arm and neck. She pulled them out and stood up, quickly collapsing on the floor. Whoa there, little filly. You need to stay in your bed for now, dear. Doc assisted her back in the bed. What happened? Rainbow's memory of the incident was fuzzy at best. Just a moment, dearie. Smokey made a promise to get him as soon as you woke up. Doc trotted off. Rainbow pressed her hooves in her eyes, wiping the tears that slipped out during her nightmare. She tried to force herself to forget about the dream, but Pinky's words echoed in her mind. Smokey rushed in. "You're finally awake, kid? You had me worried there." To Doc's surprise, it was hard to say. Smokey hugged Rainbow Dash. "I told you not to trust that mud-bucking son of a mule, didn't I?" "You did, didn't you?" Rainbow laughed a little and apologized for the trouble she had caused. "It's all right, Artie. Just don't let it happen again, or you'll get us both killed. Now you're going to have to sit out a few races till you're healed up. Until then, make sure you take it easy, kid." Smokey pat her on the head and trotted out of the room. "Will do." Rainbow Dash came out late. Rainbow's reply came out late. She laid back down and listened for Doc to tell her about what happened, and then she began explaining the medical conditions. A combination of boring speech plus Rainbow's lack of energy caused her to fall asleep. Doc was interrupted mid-sentence by Rainbow snoring. He allowed a warm-hearted smile, shut off the light, and trotted back into the club. As Rainbow recovered, things in the club were getting tense. It would seem that Jet was secretly planning to get rid of the soft Smokey and lead the club on his own, with an iron hoof. Luckily, he didn't seem to have any followers. Days turned to weeks once again. Rainbow Dash found herself shrouded in the protection of a small group of ponies in the club, including Doc, Star Chaser, and a couple others. Most importantly, it included Smokey. Lately, Jet has been gaining support from both within and outside the club. Smokey worked on handling the situation on his own, but he had other things on his mind. Today, Rainbow Dash's bandages came off. She was completely healed. Rainbow wiggled her neck around and stretched it up, showing off her scar. Jeez, man. Wear your scars proudly, kid. They're a sign of your loyalty to the club. Now that you're feeling good, I've got a couple of gifts lined up for you. For now, grab some grub. You'll need it. With a swift pat, Smokey was off to do whatever he does. Rainbow waited anxiously for Smokey's return. Once he finally came back, it was pretty dark out. He and a few other bulky stallions trotted in. "Let's go, Artie. Your gifts awaits." She trotted outside, following them into the night. They soon arrived at the large warehouse. Smokey walked her up to the side door. A dim light flickered above them. Smokey eased the door open. Inside, she saw a forest green Pegasus. Oh, God. This is a surprise. I'm scared. I'd be like, what do you want me to do? Because I'm not into that raid crap. Or, if I was Rainbow Dash, I'm not into them stallions. I really don't know. You did this dirty little hayseed a favor by going to help him. I know racers look after one another, but this sack of crap isn't a racer in my book. Not after what he did to you. What do you expect me to do? No, don't do it. What do you expect me to do? Rainbow looked up with him at wide eyes. Get even. You can cut him loose, let him walk out of here, or you can cut his throat and let our associate here take care of the remains. I know what I do. It's up to you, though. It's only right that his fate is in your hooves now. Smokey nudged Rainbow inside and shut the door behind her. Have fun in there, kid. Oh, shit. Rainbow trotted towards her attacker, a menacing smile. Oh, God. She threw his mask off and teeth as they met gazes with the terrified Grease Stallion. Artie, you're to blame for this abduction? Oh, yeah. This is the guy that has that weird thing. Artie, you're to blame for this abduction? I can't do that. I'm just gonna give him a normal voice. I sound like that dude from Malcolm in the Middle, the guy in the wheelchair. Oh, I don't know his name, but he's like, I don't know what his name is. Listen here, you little stud bucket. I'm going to finish you off as soon as I get out of here. I'll cut that pretty little smile off your stupid. I don't know. I'd like to see you try. No sneak attacks this time. Rainbow reached into her pocket, pulling out a large hunting knife. She dangled it in front of his face for a minute and walked behind him. She cut the ropes and gave the back of his chair a powerful buck, which sent him tumbling into his hooves. Rainbow threw her knife around the wall and kicked the chair out of the way. What are you waiting for? Not scared of a little pretty filly, are you? The green Pegasus was shocked that she had actually set him free. Rainbow continued to taunt him. There's no pride to be gained in kicking the crap out of you while you're tied up. Now bring it on. The green pony stood his ground, staring at Rainbow down. Tired of waiting, Rainbow charged towards her old rival. Just before reaching him, she slid to a near stop, spinning around and delivering a powerful blow to his ribs, causing him to tumble over. Rainbow leapt on top of him, smashing her strong front right hooves into his face repeatedly. He pushed her off and gave her a swift but strong kick to the side of the face. Rainbow lost her focus for a moment, stumbling over. That blow reminded her of the one that she had received from Applejack during a fight they had. Rainbow had accused her of being incestuous? Ew. As a result, Applejack felt the line had been crossed. Ugh. That's it. You hit like a mare? I'm not even joking. I know a mare who hits just like that. Oh, God. The green Pegasus just snarled and continued his assault. I'm gonna see how long this is. Oh my gosh, this thing's gonna be forever. Oh my Jesus. I think I'm gonna have to stop recording. This is like gonna be like an hour-long video. The green and quickly approached her. Rainbow took flight, landing just on top of him. As he quickly turned around to meet her, he felt two powerful hooves forcefully land on his face. The impact sent him rolling across the warehouse floor, his hooves holding his face. The hit left two deep cuts on his face, one on the back of his cheek and the other just above his right eye. He tried to stand up, but couldn't keep his balance. I thought you were just gonna finish me off. Oh well, I guess. Rainbow felt a familiar sensation fill in her core. Winning this fight reminded her of winning her first race. She looked around and noticed Smokey and his bulky associate watching her. They had decided to come in after hearing all the commotion inside. Very impressive, kid. I always knew you had guts, but you have honor as well. You were right. There's no pride to be gained in beating a pony who's tied up. Artie, you earned some serious pride tonight. Smokey gave her long mane a pat. Oh, it's nothing. He's a pushover anyways. Rainbow poked at her bruise on the cheek as they walked out. Oh no. I think Bruce is gonna let him go and he's gonna kill Smokey. Bruce nodded and tended to his duties. As Rainbow and Smokey neared the club, he attempted to explain her next gift. After a long recovery, I thought you'd enjoy some, let's see, professional company. Oh, awesome. Rainbow Dash didn't know what he meant, but he... By the way, I assumed you prefer the fair of the two sexes. It's pretty obvious, though. I'm really not sure what you mean by that. I mean, you know, since... Yeah, stop it! She doesn't understand! I mean, you know, since we're clear we're batting in the same field. Batting what? You know, some mares like to get down, others only like to get gone down by other mares. Rainbow just looked at him with the cutest, most innocent eyes possible. Forget it. You'll see when we get down there. it's like, wait, you don't get it. They arrived there shortly after, where Smokey took it upon himself to announce Rainbow's courageous acts to the entire club. Rainbow walked around the room receiving compliments after compliments. Way to go, kid. Bro, I always knew you were a fighter. Good one, dearie. It's round them hoofy cuffs, I hear. Dog gave her a shoulder bump and looked at the bruise on her face. Cripes. Let me get you some ice for that. I'll be right back. Rainbow sat down and waited patiently for her ice. Bye, Mom. There sat an orange unicorn with a long, flowing, deep red mane, boasting a simple cutie mark. 3 red hearts. Rainbow nervously smiled and looked at the table, her pride now mostly swallowed. Smokey walked up in front of her. Oh, God, no! Oh, no. That's your gift over there. Go introduce yourself. Oh, no. Boasting a simple cutie mark. 3 red hearts. My gift? Yep, that's your gift, kid. Rainbow nervously walked towards the gorgeous mare that apparently had been her gift. Oh, I like cringed for a second. Oh, I'm blushing. That's not good. You know what happens when I blush. If you don't know, go ahead and watch my reading of Big Macintosh. Goes Big Macintosh something. It's a Macintosh fic. I blushed during that entire thing, and I couldn't stop laughing. Ugh, my face is gonna blow out. Looks like you got quite a doozy you got there. The orange mare touched her soft hoof to Rainbow's face. My name's Starlet. You're Artie, right? Yeah, that's me. Nice to meet you. Let's go somewhere more private and get to know each other a little better. Or just stay here. Whatever's fine. Oh, my cheeks are hurt. You don't often do things like this, do you? You just follow me and try to relax. Oh, she took Rainbow by the hoof and led her to a private room. Rainbow sat on the bed. Starlet sat next to her. She reached around and rubbed her hoof softly on Rainbow's sore cheek. Rainbow was wishing she had gotten ice before leaving the area. Starlet leaned in and gave Rainbow Dash a sweet long kiss. Rainbow shied, and soon after, blushing unnecessarily, I'm gonna read this like a man. I'm gonna read this like a man. I'm gonna read this like a mayor. Something wrong, Artie? No, nothing's wrong. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, Rainbow admitted, lowering her head. I guess I always thought my first time would be special, you know. I had no idea this would be your first time, sweetheart. Here, I'll go return this payment to Smokey. Wait, hold on. I don't want him to feel bad about the gift. Can you just maybe stay here and, you know, sleep with me? What? This reminds me of that one episode of, there's this one, I don't remember what it was, but it's like a crime scene investigation show. And so the guy, he like hires a prostitute to sleep with him. And just to sleep with him, like not have sex or anything, just Let me just curl up next to you so I can go to sleep. I suppose I'm fine with that. Are you tired now? Very tired, actually. Rainbow smiled and lay down at the bed. The orange unicorn turned off the lights with her magic. They snuggled up close. Rainbow wrapped her wings around Starlit, and the two ponies found sweet comfort as they drifted into sleep together. This sensation meant more than Rainbow Dash than any of the other would ever realize. Morning soon came. Rainbow rolled and stretched her wings out, letting a deep yawn break her grogginess. Starlit was gone, but there was a note by the nightstand. Thank you so much for the most wonderful night I've enjoyed in quite some time. We must do it again sometime. Already, Rainbow felt a pang of remorse. She hadn't felt an emotional connection to another pony in several years, and she let this one go without even giving her a real name. She shook her sadness off and ventured. Okay, I'm so confused. There she met Smokey. Oh God. Way to go, kid. Starlet was looking all emotional when she left this morning. You sure what you're made of? Rainbow laughed and the big excited stallion behaving like a high school colt. You bet your flank I did. Rainbow chose to play along, joining her clubmates in their daily routines. Rainbow once again felt her troubles slip away. Another month had passed. Springtime was setting in. Rainbow had just gone to sleep for the night when she heard an explosion. Oh God. She jumped to her hose and rushed out to investigate the noise. There were a dozen of ponies running in various directions, all looking to escape the inflamed building. Doc stopped and saw Rainbow. Come on, Mad, we gotta hurry. It's Jet. He's trying to destroy the club and rebuild one of his own. Jet did this? Where's he now? There simply ain't no time, dearie. We have to get out of here. Doc ran out of the escape doors. Rainbow spotted Jet and a couple unicorns blasting away at Smokey's private quarters. Rainbow rushed towards them. As soon as they broke through, one of the unicorns caught her. A shout of large destruction fell her way, sending her flying back into the wall. The impact knocked the breath out of her, but she was okay. Her vision was blurred due to her disorientation, along with a plume of black smoke filling the building. Rainbow snuck around through the outer hallway, making her way through the back door of Smokey's room. She slowly peeked in. Through the closet shutters, she looked just in time to see Jet and his crew leaving. She ran through the door in search of Smokey. She found him laying on the floor silently and bleeding. There was a gaping wound on his left side where he had recently been stabbed. Rainbow quickly rushed to his side. Hey there, kid. It's good to see a friendly face. Smokey trailed off, smoking in between words. Rainbow once again found herself in an unbearable situation. She was forced to watch someone die, someone she loved. I'm missing the mood up. She was forced to choose watching someone she had loved die, or facing the guilt of letting them die alone. She knew the choice was easy, but watching her new best friend suffer like this was overwhelming. Listen, Artie, you gotta go. It's not safe here. Fly away to safety for me. Oh, and before we go, I love you, kid. You're like the daughter I never had. A perfect little sidekick I always wanted. Thanks for making this last year worth living. I can't repay you for what you give me. Rainbow's aching heart couldn't take this again. She burst into tears, feeling every emotion she ever knew. She was beginning to have a nervous breakdown. My name is Rainbow. My name is Rainbow. It's Rainbow Dash, not Artie. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, and I'm not leaving you here. I'm going to get help, and you're going to live. Celestia, damn it! Even now, you remain loyal to me. There's really something about you, kid. Tell me your story. I want to know all about you. Rainbow Dash, consider it a final request. You want to know my story? Why I won't abandon you here? Smokey nodded. Fine. It'll kill some time while the fire trucks show up. Just promise me you'll hold on till then, okay? Smokey let out a small chuckle. I promise, kid. Back when I was a little filly, before I started flight school, me and my mom used to run through the clouds. She would lift me up and drop me down in soft piles. I'd run on her back while she flew. And I, remembering feeling like I was weightless, and the world around me was nothing but freedom. I couldn't wait to learn to fly myself. My dad was never around me. In fact, I never even met him. We were a poor family, barely surviving in a slow economy. Somehow my mom saved up for me to enroll me in a flight school. It felt like a dream come true, and I made a goal to be the best flyer I could be. After I graduated at the top of my class, I finally returned home. I was so excited and looking forward to showing my awesome flying moves to my mom. But when I got there, the house was empty and quiet. There, I found a note left by my mom. It said, "Now that you're all grown up, you can take care of yourself. I'm gonna begin traveling the world to find my place and who I was meant to be. I love you, Rainbow Dash. I only hope you understand why I left, and that you grow into a pony you're meant to be as well." I felt lost, alone. At that point, I decided I would never leave anyone on their own, especially a friend. I decided I'd stay loyal to my friends even if it kills me. That's exactly why I won't leave you. Not as long as you have a chance to survive. I always knew there was something else, kid. I just never knew how really special you were. Smokey closed his eyes and fell into his final sleep. A very familiar pain radiated from within. Rainbow felt like she wanted the building to collapse, burying her there, ending all her hardships. She continued to endure. Instead, she backed out of the room, went outside, and once again flew into the night sky, never looking back. Her heart once again shattered, tears falling behind her. She wondered if she would ever find peace. In fact, she would wonder if she would ever find a home again. I'm finally done. That was really sad, but I'm overjoyed from like sad stuff now because here's the end of the video. There's nothing left. So if you want to go, go. But I saw PewDiePie's and Uber Hacker Nova's end the Walking Dead thing, and the ending was so sad. Made my chest go soft. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I just wanna go to sleep.